Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is John. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to design a social media flyer. Okay, and the industry will be designing for that an education, technology, edtech company. Okay, so now let's get started. As you have known, the first step before you start designing at all is to have a mental sketch. Okay, and you can also sketch on paper what you intend to achieve with your design, how you want your design to look like. Okay, it's quite important, and this part cannot be denied. Always have a sketch. Always have a sketch. Okay, at times it's not necessary you sketch it on paper, but you can just have a mental sketch. But to make your work easier and faster, it's quite important you sketch on paper. You don't need a drawing skills to know how to sketch. Okay, just like what we have there. So basically, this is what I'm going to show you how to turn this sketch now to a design. So another thing I want to explain before I dive into the video proper, there is a reading pattern. Okay, according to research, we have a lot of reading patterns, how people visually see things, especially when they come across the graphics online. Okay, there is a reading pattern that comes to their mind. We have a lot of them. We have an F reading pattern, but there is a particular one I'm going to show you in this design. Okay, and I want you to pay attention to it. Okay, so the reading pattern I'm going to show you in this design is called rule of third. Okay, rule of third. What rule of third basically means is that you are going to have, this is your black canvas now. You are going to have a line, okay, like a margin line, 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so where the vertical row meet the column, okay, where the rows meet the column, that's exactly where you are going to paste your vocal points. Okay, just watch me closely. We are going to do the practical in this design. What I'm explaining is that when you want to use a rule of third in design, remember I said according to research, there is a reading pattern, how people actually read stuff they see online. You get my point? And one of them is called rule of third. Okay, we are going to be discussing about others in other videos. So the one we are going to be focusing on in this video particularly is rule of third. Okay, and how can you use this rule of third now to design? Basically, you need to draw an imaginary line, or you can use a ruler here to draw 3 rows and 3 columns with equal size. So at a point where the rows meet the column, that's where you are going to place your vocal point. Okay, you know in design you need to have a vocal word, a vocal point. So all the vocal points of everything we need in this design will be placed where the rows meet the column. So now just watch me closely how I'm going to achieve that. The first thing you need to do is to turn on your ruler. Okay, come to file, come to settings, come to field settings, and show your what? Your ruler. Can you see now? Good. So I will advise you also to turn on your show print bleed. Okay, good. Show print bleed. So now the first thing we need to do, the first thing we need to do right now is to draw the rule of third line now. So just watch me closely. Okay, remember I said you have to draw 3 lines. Okay, so we are going to use our ruler line now to do that. You get my point now? And remember, they have to be equal. They have to be equal. So the size now, the size of this canvas is 1080 by 1080. So it's meant to be a what? An Instagram post design. So 1080 divided by 3 is what? 360, right? Good. So we are going to place the first ruler 350. You can zoom in so that you can see what you are doing. Okay, so you take it to 360. This one is actually 360. Can you see now? Good. So 360. 360 plus 360 is what? 720. So that means the next one is going to stand at what? 720. You get it now? Good. So now let's do this one also. 360. Then the next one is 720. Good. So now this is our rule of thumb now. So this is what I've been explaining earlier. So all these focal point now, you can see that this is a point. Okay, let me use my circle to tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, good. So this is a point. This is another one. This is another one. This is another one. So basically, what this rule of thumb is all about is that the focal point of your design should be placed around this area. You get my point now? It should be placed around these what areas. So okay, so now let's turn. Remember, we have a sketch. We want to turn to a design. This is a sketch. You get it now? This is a sketch. So we are going to follow this sketch closely now. You can see this sketch here. So I'm going to delete it. I'll be following it here now. Good. So we are done with that. Another thing is our color palette. Okay. So this is a color palette we'll be using for this project. This is a color palette. So I'm going to place it here so that I can use my color picker tool to actually select the color. So this is the image, and this spiral is going to form one of the bases of our background. So now let's dive in. Remember, we have our rule of third line now. So the next thing we need to do is to use our normal margin line. Okay, you need to have the normal margin line. So 40 is okay. Then this one, this one is going to be at 140 now. Good. So this one also, you can leave this as okay. Let's leave this there. Then this one also. Basically, based on the sketch, we are not placing anything down here. So we don't need this down part line now. So it means any of our text will not go outside this what this line. Do you get it now? Good. Any of our text will not go outside this line. So now to the next step now, which is our background. So now let's form the basis of our background. Come to elements, and draw a shape. Okay, a square shape. So, so you have to be conscious of these lines. Maybe give you a plus handle. You have to be conscious of it. So basically, I'm using the line for the sake of this video, but as soon as you get used to it, you don't need to actually put the line to know where you are going to place your stuff. Okay, so okay, good. So I have to do it like this now. So I want to select one of these colors. This is the color palette we are using. Okay, so I will change my background color now to this purple. Okay, good. So I'll select this. I have that already. I can decide to lock it now. Good. So another thing, remember we are making this social media flyer and Instagram post design. We are making it for an Edtech brand. And an example of an Edtech brand. Okay, an example is you lesson. You will be familiar with you lesson very well. And what they do is basically they give access to students to learn online. Okay, So now we are making something related to that now. So now we're going to have this our spiral now. We're going to have this our spiral to form the basis of the background. Good. So I'll increase it. Good. I don't want to use it like this. I'll change the color. I'll change the color. I'll change the color to white. Okay. Remember, I want it to just form the basis of my background. So now to change the color to white, you click on edit image, then you click on don't tone effect. Okay. So don't tone, you click on click control, then shadow, you change it to white. Okay. Highlight also, you can change it to white. Good. So now you have it. Okay. So I'm going to reduce the opacity now to 10 is okay. Okay, I just want it to be as my background. Why is it not reducing? Okay, good. So it has actually reduced. Now you send it to the back. So can you see now? So good. So I'll lock it also. Now where I have my background. So if you look at the sketch very well, you will see I have here now. Let me zoom in. So I have this area now for my what? For my image. Good. So I'm going to delete the sketch again. Then to upload my image now, I need frame. So I'll come to element, then search for overframe. Overframe. Good. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this particular one. Good. Good. So okay now. Okay. So this is the frame now. I'm going to place it here strategically now. I'm going to paste it here. Okay. Can you see now? Good. So now you are going to see what I've been talking about, how it's going to come into place now. Okay, you are going to see what I'll be talking about, how it's going to come into place now. Can you see now? I told you that our focal point and image is also one of the most important focal points in what? In design. Okay, so you can see that this line where it means the what? Where the rose means the color. Okay, we have our what? Our image there. So basically it means if they are looking at a designer, they are going to see this what? This image. You get my point now, based on that reading what? Reading pattern. So now we are going to fill this with the image. We are going to fill it with the image. Then I'll double tap the image so that I can position it properly. Good. So it's go this way now. So another thing I'm going to do now, I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this now. Then I'll change the color. I'll fill it with color instead of image. Then I'll fill it with this yellow. I'll fill it with this yellow. Then I'll send it to back. Okay, you know how to do that. Control plus to open bracket. Okay, control plus open bracket, or that's the shortcut. Or you can right click and send to what? Send backward. Good. So I'm going to adjust it now. Easy. You can zoom in if there's a need for that. So I'm going to adjust it. Good. So it's showing there like a stroke, right? Good. So and that's what I want to achieve with that part. Okay. So now the next thing for me to do is to have my test on this design. To have my test on this design. And the shortcut for text box in Canva is just T. Can you see? Delete. When you press T on your keyboard, that's the shortcut for text box. Okay. So now the text I'm going to have on it basically is the Oki deserve the best education. That's the message I want to communicate with the designer. Your kid deserve your kid deserve the best education. So now let's edit our text. Your kid deserve your kid deserve the best education. Okay. So I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it now. Good. So you have your kid deserve the what? The best education. So I'm going to have it this way now. Yo, let me take this now. Your kid deserve the best education. So let's have it like this. Good. Good. So remember, this is an edutech word social media post, and it's focusing on kids. So the font combination is going to be the one that will be appealing to children and also communicate the right message to their parents. Okay, so with this now we are going to use a sans serif font. Okay, but we have to use a playful one. Okay, something that looks a bit playful while still communicating the most important message. Okay, remember we are designing for an edutech. Okay, and it has to be appealing to the children. The design should not be scaring what the children, and it must also look appealing to their parents because the parents are the one we want to communicate to. You get my point? But yet we still have to make it appealing to children because they are the one they offer for. Okay, so basically now I'm going to change the font. The font I'm going to use is Nonito. Okay, Nonito is actually a sans serif font, but it has this playful look. Okay, not not that not it's not a corporate font. I said corporate font. Sorry, I like font. Sorry, I mean it's not a corporate font. Okay, it's part of the sans serif family, but it's good to design for kids. Okay, so I'm going to select Nonito bold. Then I'm going to increase the size. Let me zoom in. Okay, good. So remember contrast. Okay, so contrast. You see that this black now is not visible. So I'm going to reduce the line spacing. The line spacing is too much for me. 1.4. I'll use 1.2. Okay, good. So I have 1.2 now as my line spacing. Remember, I said we need to place our element in what? And the strategic place of this design. And where is the strategic place now? Okay, we have made use of this line now. This where the row means the column here. Okay, so the next one we are going to make use of the one here. Okay, so you can zoom in because can you see the line now? Can you see where it actually means now? So now that's exactly where I'm going to place my text. You get it now? Good. So so with this now, it will look what? Appealing. So when you are looking at it, you will be focusing on okay based on the reading pattern. You are meant to focus on this word, on this vocal point. Okay, on these four vocal points. So I've made use of the two for my image here. You get it now. So I'm going to use this upper one now for my text. You get it now. Good. So I'm going to change the color of my text to yellow. I'm still going to use this particular yellow. Okay, so your kids deserve the best education. That's the core message. So the subtitle now, what we can call the subtitle is sign off on your side. And your side for online private lesson led by our expert tutors. So basically this is what I have. Okay, remember hierarchy. Remember the principle of hierarchy. So if this my main message, if the font size is actually 50, 3.1, why why should I have my subtitle now to be 53.1? Okay, if you do that, that means you are not applying the principle of hierarchy. So this one now I'm going to reduce it to like 30, like 30. So I'll highlight my text, then I'll have 30, 30. Good. So I'm going to break it now so I can have it in. So good. Now let's save it. Okay. So it means 30 is too small. I don't want it to get, I don't want it to exceed this particular place. Okay, you get it now. So, okay, good. 28 is perfect. So now I'm going to reduce this spacing a bit. Good. Can you see now? Okay, good. So this is our core message. This is the subtitle now for the design. So can you see now? Good. So now let me play with this area ID. I'm going to duplicate mine. I'm going to duplicate this. Good. Then I'll change the color. Okay, this is my color palette, so I'm not using any color outside of this. Okay, so I'm going to take this backward. Okay, good. So remember, I don't need to fill my design with two or with a lot of elements. Okay, I just make sure any element I'm using actually have a purpose for that. Here, the reason why I'm placing this, I don't want to leave this place open. Okay, and see, to create to create more contrast for the word, for the image. You get it now? So I'm going to place this here. Then I can reduce the shade of that particular color. So with this now I can actually delete this. So I'm going to have this as a yellow, then I'll change the color of this to white. Okay, so now the next thing, let's place a logo for this. Okay, so we are going to okay, so this area now you can easily place your logo here. Okay, so now let's look for an element to do the logo, education icon. Okay, and let's use this. Good, I like this. So let's use this. Okay, so zoom in. Remember, this is the line we have up here. So our logos should not what exceed this line. So now I'm going to reduce this and I will change the color. I'll change the color to this yellow. So you use the yellow. Should we use yellow or white? Let's use white. Okay. So now let's write the name of the brand. Let's just write Edtech. Okay. Education technology. So Edtech is okay. I'm going to bold this. Bold. Good. This is the name of the brand. I'm going to place this strategy right here. Remember, I have this my margin line here. So anything I'm doing should not what exceed this line. So I'm going to reduce it now. Good. Reduce it a bit. So basically now I have my logo. So let's change this to white also. Let's change this to white. Let me remove the bold. Okay, good. So can you see now? I have my logo here now. I want to reduce it a bit. Good. My logo doesn't have to be too words. Good. Get it now. So Now, basically now, can you see now? So with this design now, we are making use of the word, the vocal point. We use one for our image, and we use the other one for our word, our text. Do you get my point now? So looking at this design, is either you see the message or the image first, or you see the word, the text first. Do you get it now? So when you see this, your eyes will go directly to here because we are working with the word, with the vocal point. Okay, so and that is what rule of third is meant to do. Okay, it's a reading pattern that has been shown by your researchers. Okay, and this is the way we can use it to communicate the right message with our what, with our design. So I'm going to change the font of this one now to Montserrat. Let's use Montserrat. Okay, so it's going to be two for now that we make use in our design. Okay, remember you have to limit your font to what usage. Let's use classic or use classic. So now you can see now that the 20 size is no longer working again. So let me reduce it. Okay, I'll use 26. Let's use 27. Okay, the perfect one will be 26.5. Let me just leave it at that. You see now, good. So we have these here now. We have these. Then the last thing, okay, the last thing should be our what? Our call to action. We ask them to sign up, sign your child up for online private lesson led by our what? Expert tutors. So where are they going to sign up? So that's the thing. Okay, when you are designing, just look at your design as a communication. Okay, look at um do it in a way that you're actually communicating, and remember you're actually communicating with your design. So you have to put everything into what, into consideration. If I tell you your kid deserves the best education and I ask you to sign up your kid for our online private lesson led by expert tutors, what's the question they are going to ask you? Okay, if you are not talking about the price, we'll be talking about where can I sign up, right? Good. So, and where can you sign up now? You can easily sign up through our website. So that shows that we need to put a what, the website link on this social media post. You get it now? Good. So now we're going to make use of this area. So come to element, then I'm going to use, let's use this rounded rectangle. Okay, I'm going to change it to rectangle. So and I'm going to place it here. Good. So I'll change the color to white. White. Then remember, C is a shortcut for our text box. So let's just have www.edtech.com. Okay, so I'm going to use Montserrat Classic for it also. Then the size will be okay. Okay, so just to create hierarchy, but it has to be what, to be bold. 23 is okay. So let's use 23 now. Good. So can you see now? So can you see now? Good. So we have these now. Okay, we have these. Good. So I've actually adjusted now to my case. So every other thing you are doing now is secondary to the design. You get my point now. So with this now, we have actually communicated what, the message we intend to pass with this design. You get it now. But I noticed something because of contrast. I want to change the shade of my background. Okay, I'll change the shade. So where is it? Unlock. Good. So I actually unlock the fire. Good. I don't want. Okay. So let me just leave it there. Out. Okay. Back. Back. Good. So I've locked this. So lock the element you are not working with. You get it now? Okay, I still need to unlock this to be able to access my browser. Okay, so unlock this. Can you see now? So unlock it now. Then change the color. Okay, so I'm going to change the shade of the color to a darker one. Good. So can you see the difference now? Control Z, Control Z, and Control Shift Z. Can you see the difference now? Okay, so means this is actually what? Okay, the contrast here is okay compared to what we have previously. So this our yellow now is showing very well. Okay, so what's the new color code now? Okay, can you see the new color code now? You can still take it to be a bit darker. Good. So this is the new color code now. So can you see we didn't use too much we didn't use too much element here, but yet we still communicate the word, the message the brand the message the brand wants to what or to pass to their target audience. And who are their target audience? Parents and their what and their kids. Okay, so and that's the essence of this design. Do you get my point now? When the kid actually saw this flyer, he's going to look at what makes this what this baby to be smiling, right? Good. Then you can now see your kid deserves the best education. When your kids have the best education, they will be what? They'll be happy, right? Good. So, and that's one thing we are communicating with them. So, as a parent, also looking at this now, okay, looking at this now, you look at it. Oh, well, I want my kids to be what? To be smiling also. So, what makes this kid to be smiling? This is exactly what makes the kid to be what? To be smiling, right? Good. So every other thing is secondary. Okay. Every other thing is what? Secondary. Good. So now we have this. So this is our, can you see now? So this is our design. So I can decide to reduce decide to reduce the opacity of this. Not necessary though. Okay, I can decide to reduce the opacity and let's reduce it so that the spiral can also what show. So with this now, remember we have our sketch. We use this color palette with few word changes. So that is telling you that at times when you have a color palette, okay, you can make what little modifications to it just to achieve your what your goal. Okay, just to achieve your goal. I can decide to increase this also. Good. So can you see now? So see you in the next video.